Oh, there we go.
And we are live.
Well,
hello,
almost.
everyone.
Hold on, wait for it. Oh, maybe we're live. I can't
live.
even tell.
Yep.
Are we live? Okay, hey everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to the Tangent Show number 26.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm Catherine.
And I'm Isaac.
Yay! So it's been I don't even know what's happened this week. The dog went in the trash and ate everything.
Yes, that was unexpected.
That was an exciting moment in our day today. I fell off the coffee wagon. Well, we both kind of fell off the coffee wagon. We are back to drinking coffee. So look out. It could get kind of hyperactive.
Just a little
Yay!
bit.
Now, I was like, I'm kind of sleepy today. I need coffee. Okay. Yeah, so we've got lots of things going on today. A teeny update to Tangent Templates. We have a lot in the works, guys.
A lot.
You've been sending us like suggestions for Tangent Templates, and our list is like,
it's really big.
It's like, can you write an encyclopedia for us? Could you generate like a novel that's basically Charles Dickens for us? That would be amazing, guys. Thank you, though. We really appreciate the suggestions.
Yes, so
we are working very hard to put them all together and to get those out for you. I was super impressed with you, Isaac, because you're like a miracle worker. Do you want to explain? And actually, stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you how you can get Keynote if you're not a Mac user. And you don't even need an iPhone.
Ooh.
You can get Keynote free.
That's pretty cool.
Like no more PowerPoint, because honestly, Keynote is way better than PowerPoint. But yeah, Keynote's probably my favorite tool. Other than Canva and Tangent Templates, Keynote's probably my favorite tool.
She loves Keynote.
Designing. Well, yeah, you're like a pro though. So
well,
you're like Mr. Adobe.
I'm still Adobe Illustrator, yes. Next to that, a lot of people like Affinity Designer. I haven't used it personally, but I know a lot of our users do. So,
whoa, hey guys! Oh, Di's in San Diego.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering your name. Di is from San Diego.
Oh, cool.
Dee's in New York.
Okay.
Shout out to Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. Hope you are doing well and having a lovely week. Dee says the smartest people drink coffee. And Laura's here. Hi, Laura. We love you too. Thank you so much for watching.
That goes along with our word of the week.
What was our word of the week? I told you I'm really sleepy. I'm trying to wake up.
Was it sapio?
Oh, sapiosexual is our word of the week. Wait, what goes with to say? So it's kind of fun. If you're in our KDP group, I've been doing niche alerts. Mm-hmm. And I really like the niche alerts because it just gives me a chance to talk about whatever kind of interesting thing has caught my eye this week. But what I try and do is find things that on Google Trends, the graph looks like that. So they're things that have suddenly become super popular in the last sort of year or so. So one of the words of the week is sapiosexual. And the reason I picked that is because Mark Ronson, so he's actually really cool. He's the guy that teamed up with Amy Winehouse. He did he did a whole bunch of really cool covers. Like he did a cover of Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This, the Morrissey song. It was really, really good. So I really like Mark Ronson. But anyway, he came out and proclaimed himself sapiosexual. And I guess the idea of sapiosexual is that you're attracted to someone's intelligence primarily over their physical attributes, possibly over their gender or any other sort of aspects.
The greatest value you find in another human being that you want to share your life with is intelligence. So with that said...
Hold on.
So with that said...
I'm like, who's going to diss each other first?
No.
Oh, okay.
Someone said, D. Huffman, according to D. Huffman, the smartest people drink coffee. So here you are sitting next to me drinking coffee.
Being super intelligent. I know, it's like the Pet Shop Boys song, that I've got the brains, you've got the looks. We always fight. It's like, well, hold on. Who's got the looks? Who's got the brains? I don't even know which. Depends what mood we're in.
Right.
Yeah, anyway. So,
tangent update.
Oh, God. I was talking about the Keynote.
Keynote, yes.
No, I'm going to do that after the tangent update. Yeah. Super organized. We have like a proper running order and
everything. So, okay, really quick.
Yeah,
planners.
Let's talk about this.
Okay. So I am still working on adding languages to all our planners.
You haven't done that yet.
I haven't. I'm about halfway through, and we're balancing so many things. I haven't been able to complete that specific one. However, I did make a small update to our.
Wait, I'm sharing it. I've forgotten how to click buttons on the mouse.
Sure.
I'm not even hungover. I'm just tired.
There's a lot going on.
Okay, let's see.
It's been a busy week.
All right, there we go. That's the right one.
There we go. Now we're tiny.
Okay.
And click on more tools.
Wait, that doesn't look right. Is that right?
It's right. It's right. Click on more tools.
There we go. More tools. Okay. Wow, I feel like your assistant. You know, like when you have magicians who go, and here you go.
Yes.
Or like the Wheel of Fortune thing when you go.
There you go. I want to make sure we're on the right thing.
Yeah, it's taking a moment.
Okay.
We're having
Hopefully it's loading correctly.
I know. I feel I may need to find a Zoom alternative at some point because Zoom seems to be a bit slow with screen sharing at the moment.
There we go. Yes.
Okay.
So click on more tools and then image to interior. I added a small update that hopefully should help people who are trying to create coloring books.
Yeah, so this tool is pretty awesome. The image to interior tool, what it lets you do is you can upload a whole bunch of images that they can be maybe a collection of images that you found in the public domain that you want to reprint into books. They could be coloring book images that you've generated or created or commissioned. They can be like all kinds of books. They can be photos you've taken. Like if you want to do beautiful San Diego and go out with your camera and take some photographs, absolutely. So this is like a really simple tool that will help you put together a coffee table book, an art book, a coloring book, like any kind of book that has a bunch of images in. So what did you do, Isaac?
Okay,
I was really impressed with your speed.
Yeah, so they asked us if they could add blank pages in between the images, and they gave us a really good reason. Is that so if you're making like a coloring book, when someone draws on it, the ink or the crayon doesn't bleed to the other side, right? So I added the ability to insert blank pages.
So that's pretty cool. So now you can upload a bunch of images to tangent templates. You can select whether you want blank pages, whether you want blank pages on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side, and you can generate your coloring book or your coffee table book or whatever it is that you want to create. So thank you, Isaac.
Yes, awesome.
But I think what blew my mind was that 2 people asked for it, and like I said, oh well, I'll tell them that we'll work on that. That's a great suggestion. And you went, no wait, hold on, give me 5 minutes. He'd done it, guys. So yeah, I'm like, wow, it blew my mind.
It felt like something of importance, so I went ahead and updated it right away. So yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I teased you all with Keynote, so I'm gonna tell you how you can do this.
So we're gonna jump into Keynote.
Let's jump into Keynote. So okay, there's a lot of ways you can design a book for KDP. So obviously, you can use tangent templates as is or with your own editing on top of it. So tangent templates will generate an interior for you. If you want a planner, if you want a prompt book, if you want notebooks or specialist interiors. And also you can mix up the interiors. So it's not like you're stuck with one particular type of interior. Right. You can mix and match the different types of interiors together in our builder tool. So
easily available in all the trim sizes,
and
16 trim sizes.
And all the interiors available on all the trim sizes on KDP.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So you have tangent templates. Now I also really like using Canva for interiors. That's another tool I use for interiors, especially if I'm doing like graphical books, activity books, anything that has a lot of color in, I tend to use Canva. So that's another tool I use for designing interiors. But the one I use probably most of all for just regular black and white, low content books, and sometimes a little bit of color, you can add color in Keynote, is Keynote. I think Keynote is a really, really powerful tool for creating book interiors, and I love it. It's pretty awesome. PowerPoint works too, but it just doesn't have the features of Keynote. Like I found in PowerPoint, you can't make big tables, and Keynote has just a lot more capacity for things like that. So I tend to use Keynote, and I also like how it makes things look. Like I feel it just gives like your books a really professional look.
Yeah.
So there are other tools. I mean, if you are a pro, if you don't mind the learning curve, there's Affinity, there's InDesign, there's some other like
Illustrator.
Publishing, Illustrator,
and even
those
Photoshop.
are all awesome tools. They take, like, I'm lazy, so I stick with what's a little bit easier. But Isaac totally works with Adobe.
Yeah.
So with that said, up to now, we've generally thought that Keynote was only available to Apple users.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought you could use it, I know you can use it on PC, but I thought you had to have an iPhone. And I did a bit of further research, and what I found, and I'm going to screen share this if I can go to the right page. I found out that you can actually get an Apple ID even if you don't have any Apple devices. Oh. And the way you do that is you go to appleid.apple.com, mm-hmm. and right here you can scroll down and say create your Apple ID.
That's really
so
cool.
You can go ahead, you can go to appleid@apple.com. You can create your Apple ID. And once you've done that, what you do is go to apple.com/keynote, and you can download Keynote for Mac, or you can start using it at the iCloud on a PC. You can even use it on an iPhone or an iPad.
That's funny.
I don't really like designing mobile. I mean, I know it's kind of a cool thing if you're traveling, but I have a laptop, and so I'm lucky enough. I think iPads work really well if you have a keyboard with.
So have you actually tried Keynote with iCloud? In the web browser? So,
I don't think I have.
So that'd be really interesting. I'm kind of curious.
I haven't tried it myself yet because I just have it on the desktop.
Yeah,
but we should. But yeah, so there you go, guys.
You can try the web version of Keynote and see how well it works.
Yeah. So there you go. You can use. I think I have used it. No, I have used it because I used it on one of the kids' PCs when I was trying it out last time I talked about Keynote on a PC.
Okay.
So I think it was the same, if I remember right.
Yeah.
I think you get all the same features. So there you go. That's how you can get access to Keynote if you don't have a Mac, which is super exciting. Yay.
Yeah,
okay. Cool. So what else have we got to talk about? Oh yeah, I wanted to share. Let me just find the right. Sorry, I'm clicking through things. Hi Psych, hi Eric, hi HTT, Can't Stop Lion, Alaska. Whoa, that's a long way away.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I was looking for you know what? Oh wait, where's the? I'm doing well today. Oh, there it is. Okay, all right, I found it. Okay. So I shared this in the group. A really nice person called Harolyn Tahir messaged me, or Tahir. I'm sorry, I'm doing really badly with names today. They messaged me this link and said, Catherine, you've got to check this out. Guest books are being like the new thing. So I think this is one of those things that's really interesting, where old traditions, and we've talked a lot about analog to digital and digital to analog, like when things in real space become digital, or when digital things become analog. And I think guest books are an amazing example of this, that people, like, there's something really nice about when you check into a hotel and you have like a guest book in your room and you can see all the people that stayed there. Like, I mean, you can read the Yelp reviews, right? So you can go to Yelp and you can be like, oh, what do people think staying here? And you see all their Yelp reviews. But that has like a very different style. Like a guest book, there's something really cool about looking through a guest book. So back in our Halloween course, we talked about guest books for Halloween parties and how you can make like spooky guest books.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I think there's a lot of opportunities for guest books. And one thing that I thought was a huge opportunity for guest books, Airbnb.
Oh.
Right? Because so many people now are running Airbnbs.
Yeah.
That you could put a guest book, like you can make a guest book for people who run Airbnbs. So guests can review their stay, talk about what they enjoyed about the place they stayed in. And what's really cool is you can like niche these to particular interests, to particular types of trip or establishment. So like, for example, they put, for this one, you can record ghost sightings. Like, how cool is that? Or you can ask people to include their favorite song lyrics, and I've got to log in to read that further. Right. But yeah, there's a lot of ways you can like use guest books. You can make guest books for different events. So also think about this. Thanksgiving's coming up. and people have a lot of like big family get-togethers, reunions, like have a guest book so all the guests can sort of write their favorite memory or thoughts about the family.
I'm thinking like if you go to a hotel, especially if it's like in a place that most people don't visit, you can say like your favorite place to like post Instagram pictures in the hotel.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right. Like what's your favorite location, and everyone could give tips or favorite time of day.
You can make like a scavenger hunt.
Oh yeah, I can see
around
that.
the hotel, like go find these cool things that are around the grounds or in the area that the hotel's in. That'd be pretty fun.
That's good for kids. Yeah.
Also think about guest books for weddings. That's like another sort of, people like to, so you can make guest books for places, so like for hotels, Airbnbs, small businesses, even things like churches. You could have a guest book.
Oh yeah.
So the church I used to go to when I was little, they had a visitor's book, so people could sort of write who they were, where they'd come from, and some notes about what they were looking for.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it was kind of cool, especially because, so like, I mean, I lived on an island and we had this church that was like, I don't know, about 800 years old or something, like super old. So it had all this stained glass and architecture. Yeah. So what used to happen was people would go in during the week and then they'd write in the guest book and be like, oh, we came to check out this historic artifact or this stained glass window. And they'd write that down in the guest book. So there's actually a lot of ways you can use guest books. So you can have them for a place, you can have them for an event. Mm-hmm. So like weddings, I guess funerals, bar mitzvahs, right, whatever. Like theme your guest book for a particular event or party is another way to approach that. But yeah, there's like a wealth of book ideas in there. So
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
There we go. Someone's saying, could you make guest book, Sledge Pen says, could you make guest book pages with a grayscale paper texture behind the lines for KDP to make the paper look older or crinkled? Yeah, so I've done, this is probably a you question, but what I'll say is I've done quite a lot of books with textured backgrounds, colored backgrounds, like pretty paper backgrounds. So I haven't done it so much on grayscale, but there's no, I don't think
we've done black and white photographs before, so it does KDP does handle grayscale pretty well.
They look really good.
Although I don't know if it'll work well for textures. It really depends on the texture you're using. So for something like that, I definitely recommend ordering a proof just to see how it comes out.
Yeah, I mean the grayscale prints out pretty.
It does, yeah.
I'm just looking for a good example. I mean, there's sort of grayscale pictures, so they're pretty well done, the grayscale. So I don't see any reason really why you couldn't. Now
really light grays can be a problem with KDP. Sometimes the printers can print them out as looking like scattered little dots. So if you have a dark solid texture, dark set of grays, then you should be okay. If you're going for a more lighter, like 5% gray, where it's like an off-white, you might run into issues with it just not showing up when it prints out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Isaac. Mm-hmm. There's like, I'm always like, okay, let's have the techie opinion, and you're right there. So, okay.
Okay, there's a quick tangent. Templates. Let's see. You resized a PNG to a 6x9 image using the interior, uploaded it back Tangent Builder, and it shows me it's 6 by 9.5. Okay, send a support ticket. All dimensions are correct. I'm guessing it's the bleed.
It sounds
maybe
like bleed.
A bleed issue. I know a lot of people are still getting confused on when to add bleed, when not to add bleed. And so just go on and you can email us.
support@tangent.rocks.
Yeah.
All support questions to support@tangent.rocks. And that's probably where you'll get the fastest.
And send us a copy of your PDF. I'll inspect it myself and figure out what
You're
happened.
a rock star. Wow. Okay. So what else do we have in the group? Oh yeah, our other niche alert was neurodiversity. That was a fun one in the group. So we had a really good discussion this week about neurodiversity and again, this goes back to our trends and our niche alerts. So I'm looking at Google trends that go like that, where they've been sort of static and then they just have shot up in the last year. And I think neurodiversity is a really, really interesting one. So the concept of neurodiversity is that sort of up to now, there's been a lot of attention on kind of, I guess, what people might call disorders like ADHD, Asperger's, autism, even things like bipolar, Tourette's.
Okay.
Now there's kind of a movement that's moving more towards seeing all of those sort of differences as neurological differences rather than being like disorders or diseases that need to be fixed or
yeah,
cured.
it sounds like a better word for like a gradient of different
well, like the spectrum. I mean, they've kind of called it the spectrum up to date, but now there's
as
like,
opposed to forcing people into a specific category.
right. And I guess it goes with this sort of sense of like, there's people who are on the spectrum, or maybe everyone's on the spectrum. So it's kind of, it's stopped being like we're othering people by saying they're on the spectrum. But what I thought was really interesting about this is how many books, like, because keeping it to sort of the concept of books KDP, and to KDP, I think this is like a huge opportunity for us as bookmakers to actually do something really awesome and to make books that kind of support people who are neurodiverse.
Okay.
So we were talking about that in the group, and people were coming up with some amazing ideas. Like we talked about like how you can have sort of books about like pride in neurodiversity.
Okay.
I had a great pun. I actually cheated and went to pungenerator.com. I had a great pun of the Federal Neuro of Investigations. I was like, whoa, that's a good one. But no, and I thought what was really interesting was that neurodiversity made it more acceptable in a way for people to admit that there are areas of life that they find challenging. Like some people may find social interaction challenging. Some people find like sensorial issues, like, don't touch me. I don't like being sort of touched, or like tags in your clothes like really drive you nuts. And I thought this was really cool because you can use your books to actually log or track sort of issues that you're experiencing in neurodiversity. So like if you are having problems with like staying organized, you can use your books to help you stay organized. Yes. If you're having problems with social interactions, you can use your book to keep track of social interactions, write down what you said. If you worry about sort of forgetting what you said, or you worry about social anxiety, you can actually sort of track social interactions and how well you think they went. Maybe what you can do in your books is include like a list of tips on social interactions, or like helpful words to start a conversation with, or helpful like conversation starters. And I think there's loads of ways that by sort of recognizing that, we can actually find all these new niches to create our books and hopefully do something to help people out as well. So that's in our group at the moment. If you are not in it, it's on Facebook. It's facebook.com/group/Amazon Create Space, which is like what KDP used to be. But yeah, come and join the group, because we've been talking lots and lots of niches and trends in there. Your hair keeps disappearing, Isaac.
It's slightly green today.
I think the green screen is eating your head. Okay. All right, let's move along. Okay, so what else have we got to talk about? We've got quite a few links. Oh yeah, this is a creepy one. Everyone's kind of creeped out by this, and I'm dying to hear your take on this one. The 100,000 faces. So all of these people that you see here are not real people. They have all been generated by computers. Whoa. What do we think of this? So I was kind of bummed because they sort of said free to download, use for anything. But then when I dug a little further into the licensing, it said not for commercial use. So it was a little bit on the misleading side.
Oh, yeah.
But I think this is kind of a precursor to what's going to be available. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be long until you can very easily generate faces that you can use for commercial use. Now, everyone's saying like creepy, oh, it's scary, Stepford wife. I think it actually solves some problems, because I think in promotions, like a lot of people are very uncomfortable about endorsing something. And I think this is like one of those things where like I don't know, you might promote something one day and then you find something out. Like I'm always wary about like promoting anyone, because the problem is you promote someone, right? You say, everyone, this guy is amazing. You've got to follow this guy. And then like the next week, he turns around and goes, I eat babies. And you're like, oh my God, I promoted the baby eater.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. But, oh my gosh, yeah, this is.
But like if you use fake people, then.
It works. Now, okay, there's a famous stock photography image. You know, the one of the guy walking with this girl and he turns around and he sees the other girl. And everyone, right?
Yeah, I know the one.
Right, and everyone, they had their own version of it, right? Well, the people that played that were suddenly like, they received some type of fame status without being famous.
Oh yeah.
And it was really annoying that their faces went viral like that.
So they thought it was just going to be a stock photography thing. That was
right.
Just going to be
Next thing you know, they're like a meme, and the whole world thinks of them. It's just they just associate their faces with that.
They can make money off that though. They can do like Cameo and
you know, there was an article about it. I forgot what it was, but it was an issue for the people who played, who took the picture. Now, I know there was a case where I'm helping a friend out with her website, and she has, her site involves teaching kids. And so I was like thinking about that, and I'm like, you know, I go to Unsplash to pull images, but you know, you got to be really careful with faces. But I was thinking, what about kids? Like, how do you get kids on your website, like commercially?
Right, there's more issues, especially with kids. So I think this does kind of solve problems for marketers, for people making. And I mean, what I thought is I would love something like this for like a workbook, where you take, if you have like a workbook to teach people about a process, then you could have like smiley faces with like a smiley sort of assistant, you know, kind of like Flow from Progressive.
Yeah.
Like imagine you have a workbook that teaches you a process. It would be really nice having a kind of character like Flow from Progressive.
Now, that's probably going to be the next step. So deep fake can already like replace someone's face with someone else's. So it would be really creepy if you can use these AI generated faces and to get a likeness of someone else. Like, give me a character like Flo. Immediately you get 100 different versions of Bizarro World Flo, who kind of resembles the smile, but not quite her. And then you can use that for your marketing.
Oh, whoa. That's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
It was like someone sent me a Bizarro Catherine and Isaac once. There was like,
oh, that's right.
Remember, there's two people that were kind of like marketing, and they had really similar names to us as well. It was like
was so
Kathleen
weird.
And
oh, I remember that. It's like, hello, multi-dimensional being.
Welcome. We're you from the future. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting. I think this is definitely something to watch, and definitely something that you can kind of use creatively. I know people are really in stickmen at the moment. Like stickmen figures are just everywhere. Because it just tells a story. And I think it comes back to storytelling. We like people because people stop books from being dry, and it gives people a story to follow. Like we just identify with people, even if they're a stickman, even if they're like a Stepford wife generated by a computer. I think having faces really kind of adds to your book or adds to your product or marketing.
Now, my question, now I there's some issues with AI.
Here we go.
It's like that company that claimed to use an app.
Oh my God,
AI
the
to build
Indian
an
company.
app. Right, and it turns out they're just hiring real people. So, you know, the way these AI
it's like I'm a robot, but it's just like there's a person. Didn't someone do that? Wasn't it like a robot? And then it turned out there was like a little Chinese girl inside.
It
was like,
it was something really silly. So my question is, I mean, 100,000 faces, right? What are the odds that this AI generation is going to just generate someone's real face? like, I mean, their chances are there's someone that looks just like you in 100,000 faces.
That's what always weirds me out about people, though. Like how people look different. Like, how is that there's like billions of people, but everyone kind of looks different?
I know they're gonna have to do really something to,
yeah. Whoa. Well, I just went off in like, whoa. Anyway, okay. So, all right. What else have we got to talk about? Okay, we've got. Oh, I just wanted to show this because I think this is cool. This is a little tool that's called the Paperang.
What's a Paperang?
Okay, so what it is, it's like a teeny tiny printer that plugs into your phone, and you can print stuff on the go, and it prints like rolls of paper, like kind of like till receipts. Excuse me, and it also prints stickers.
Oh, that's cool.
So I thought this was really cool, and I thought what was interesting, if you look at the website for it, they actually have people using it to make stickers for their planners and their journals. But I didn't even notice that when I found this the first time. And I thought about this. I thought this would be really good for like online sellers. They can make like little notes to their customers, like personalized notes.
Oh yeah,
and then stick those into the parcel.
That's totally an Etsy thing.
Yeah, that would work really well on Etsy. Yeah. I don't know. Are you allowed to put notes in on Etsy? I'm assuming you are. I know everyone's like jumped to Etsy now, and it's like that's the cool place to sell. But I'm not really selling physical.
I bought, what did I buy? I bought something many years ago. Oh, kefir grains.
Oh yeah.
Because I was drinking kefir water. So they, they're like little living grains that you buy, and then you have to put them in water and sugar, and they grow, and you can make kefir water with it. And the people that were breeding or cultivating these grains, they did something really cool to personalize the package. And they had like a little sticker with a little note. And it was like, this is your culture. These are your living creatures. Take care of them. They will take care of you. It was really cool.
Are you like in some weird symbiotic relationship with kefir grains?
We need to talk about this.
Okay, all right,
something very important I need to tell you.
Okay, all right. But yeah. Moving.
Hey, kefir water rocks.
I
like
remember that. You were making the honestly, it was nice thing than the kombucha. It was kind of cool.
Way to get your probiotics.
What else have we got to talk about? Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, so for whatever reason, our kids are obsessed on. Oh, hi, Catherine. Yay, Catherine's here. Our kids are obsessed with this Untitled Goose game.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so this game has come out for the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, and it's called Untitled Goose Game, which is kind of a thing in itself. Like, I love when people kind of give these half-assed titles. Like, I think that's so 2019. And like, what do we call it? I don't know. And it's funny because, like, we were talking about this the other day, how, like, I feel like the 90s and the 2000s, everything was super slick and polished. Like you have like everyone kind of is like a news anchor, like with the nice perfect hair and everything's super glossy. I feel like 2019, it's kind of a bit more, people want like real people. And
what if there's like a 90 versions of us? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tangent Show. We have a fabulous show today to show you. We really think you're going to enjoy this thing. You're going to be amazed by the things we talk about today. Okay, back to 2019. Right, okay.
That was great.
All right.
Your improv is going. Anyway, so this game came out called Untitled Goose Game. And what's really interesting about this is that in the trailer, they made a trailer that shows the goose walking around. And they had this Debussy soundtrack. So it's like this really lovely piano music. And people said, and apparently people were really obsessed on the music in the trailer. And they said, well, that music had better be in the game. And then they said, we also want the music to adapt to the game. So like when the goose is getting like really in someone's face. So the whole game is about a stupid goose that runs around like honking at people and
You're basically a troll.
Right.
You just go around trolling in
like
a little village.
Like a goose troll. So
I can't wait to play this game.
So and everyone was like, well, can you make the music reflect what the goose is doing? And they said, okay, we had such an outcry about the music. Everyone was so demanding about the music that we had to go back and put the music in the game and make it responsive. But I thought what was really interesting is Debussy is public domain.
Oh.
At least I assume it is. I'm pretty sure Debussy's like from like the 1800s or something. I don't know actually. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's public domain. So I thought that was really interesting of like how you can use kind of classical music and use public domain stuff in a very modern, new, weird way, because you have that intersect going on of like bringing old things into new things. And I love that. I love like
it's pretty cool.
Like I was just holding up like the Mansplain Journal just before, and I mean I think like that's kind of such an example of it, of just finding like old art and then putting something like new in it. Like actually, I took 20 hours of women's studies, and that's but it's like a load of old men in a fine art picture. So yeah, there you go. Okay. Oh, another funny thing, Jennifer Lawrence. So this is like the ultimate in like just how to like sell out.
Katniss from the Hunger Games.
Yeah, this is Katniss, right? She's like 100% capital people now. It's like, Katniss, what happened to you? Yeah, she partnered with Amazon to put her wedding registry. Like she can't buy the stuff for herself. She had to like put her wedding registry out there on Amazon.
Settle down with PETA and look what happens.
Unlike well, no, so like the other guy, he was like the guy that was married to Miley Cyrus.
Oh, really? That's right.
Gabe, the other guy from the Hunger Games. Right. He was married to Miley, but then
Team Gabe.
Yeah, but right. Well, but then she like ditched Gabe for that girl. So I
right, Miley, right.
Right. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah, no, Jennifer. I don't know who Jennifer's marrying. So I'm sure someone will tell us. Anyway, congratulations, Jennifer. Well, that'd be cool. She married Miley. That would be like the celebrity wedding right there. I want to see that. Anyway, okay. Wow, I would pay to see that. That would be awesome. I love Miley. I'm kind of a fan. Okay, so moving swiftly on. Yeah, so she put her wedding registry on Amazon, which I think is really interesting. Of like, I guess it's just a promotion. But she has a lot of marble.
It's just so weird. Like,
it's like such a sellout, though, isn't it? To put your wedding out there as
it is, I guess. I mean, if you're getting commission for every single I guess it is, yeah.
Oh my gosh, is this like the craziest like Amazon affiliate store ever?
That's kind of what's going through my head.
Whoa, I didn't even think of
Absolutely.
That. That's
I mean,
hilarious.
but it's like on a massive scale.
Whoa, and now I'm thinking I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's probably what she did. She's probably, I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box.
I mean, guys, if you haven't used it, Amazon have a service called Amazon Associates, where you can create your own website or blog or whatever and promote products on Amazon. And when people buy them, you get a cut from that. So I'm like, can we all be like Jennifer Lawrence? Can we all have like our own wedding? And oh my gosh, we should, because like we had kind of a chill wedding that like we just invited a few very close friends and didn't tell anyone. Maybe we should have like a big fabulous celebrity wedding and put the wedding registry on. And
there you go.
Amazon Associates on
there
this.
you go. There you go.
Oh, I got an idea.
I'm guessing what really happened. I think Amazon paid her just
the big bucks.
The big bucks and says, yeah, can we put your face on here? And they probably hired someone to go and pick all the products. It'd be really funny if like, I just can't imagine Jennifer Lawrence deciding in such a detailed manner of what products she wants.
Yeah, I don't think she had any part in this.
Right.
I think someone
she posed
said,
for the camera and they put her name on it.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. But you kind of know how these things go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was interesting. I do think it might be kind of a useful place to look for like what's popular and what people. What might be trending.
She's an iPhone user.
I see that.
AirPods. Okay.
I thought the GoPro.
The GoPro.
She's got a Kindle.
Kindle?
She wants a Kindle Paperwhite.
Okay. I'm sure she doesn't have one already.
A robot mop.
Mobile.
Oh, and the sous vide. That's kind of interesting. That's a niche there. That like Starbucks had like the little egg bites. Those are cooked sous vide.
And a Wi-Fi extender. I just want to say, if this wasn't Amazon, it totally should be Google Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's funny.
Just throwing it out there. This Netgear Wi-Fi extender.
That's why they haven't put the Google one in, because it's Amazon.
Google, yeah.
Actually, our internet's been way better since we got the Google Wi-Fi. That's awesome. Been pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's Jennifer Lawrence's wedding reception. Oh, I had one more silly thing, but I thought it was cool. I posted this in the Curate group last week. Oh my gosh, Guardian's put way too many things on the page. I'll say I'm okay with the privacy. So Nestle are making $14 KitKats, so this is kind of interesting. So what they're doing, I think they have
14 pounds.
Oh, 14 pounds. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Well, the pound and the dollar are about the same rate now. Like my country is not is having some issues, shall we say? Yeah. Boris Johnson opened my great aunt's garden.
Ooh.
My grandmother's sister, when she died, there was like they opened a garden for her in Battersea Park. Boris Johnson opened it.
Did you see him? Were you there when it happened?
You know what? I had food poisoning and I couldn't. I got stuck in Guernsey. Wow. I was getting injections in my somewhere because I had food poisoning really, really badly.
You missed your opportunity.
And I missed my opportunity to meet Bojo. Bojo
with his messy hair and
wow. That would have just been an amazing experience. I would have loved that. But anyway. So Nestle have made 14-pound KitKats. And the reason they're £14 is because they are handcrafted and you can choose from a whole bunch of different flavors and mix and match them. And it said you can make up to like 1,500 flavor combinations you can create. So they're like customized KitKats. So I had a few thoughts about this. One is that, like, honestly, KitKats are probably like the most boring chocolate ever. Like, I used to like them. Now I can't eat gluten, so the wafery stuff's out.
Okay.
But KitKats are kind of boring. And like in England, they're just like the staple. Like everyone eats KitKats. And I thought it was kind of interesting that, okay, they found a way to revive KitKats and do something interesting with them. I also thought it was interesting that they are going with handmade. So I was like, well, what makes it so they can charge £14 for a bar? Because honestly, that's what everyone wants to do, is like make their product more valuable or upsell their product, like upvalue their product. Well, they said they're handmade. Holidays, like, I don't know, you can always charge more for Christmas stuff. Like, whack Santa on it, and suddenly you can double the price.
This is from your FBA days, right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But you know what I do? I go to grocery outlet, right, and they have Ziploc bags. So I know we're like software, like entrepreneurs, and we run a huge software empire now. But I'm still kind of a treasure hunter at heart. So
that never leaves. Yeah.
I go to grocery outlet, and they have like these big things of Ziploc bags. And it's great because they sell them in like July, but they have like Santa and Rudolph and reindeers all over them, but they're like a third of the price of buying regular Ziploc bags. So the wacky thing is, it's like in summer, those bags are worth less than just plain bags. But at Christmas, those bags are worth like double the plain bags, which is just, that's retail for you. Like,
that
it's so
really
seasonal.
is retail.
And I always try and say to people, like, Amazon is super, super, super seasonal. Like when I got started selling on Amazon, I just focused 100% on seasons, because I realized almost all my sales, whether it was groceries, toys, whatever, was so dependent on what season it was. And that was kind of how I got into KDP, really, was that I was like, okay, it's back to school. You know what I'm selling really well at the moment? Composition books. Let's like make composition books.
Many years ago. Yeah.
Well, 3 years ago, four years ago.
Yeah.
But like in dog years, Amazon years,
internet years,
forever. I know. It's like, how many gray hairs have I got since like 2014? Quite a lot. What was I talking? Oh, KitKats.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, what makes it so they can charge a lot for a KitKat bar? Well, customization is definitely one. I think when people are able to personalize, customize things, choose flavors, find unusual flavors, like scarcity, that's a big one. And I think a lot of customization is really to do with like scarcity. Like, oh, I can't normally find that flavor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being handmade is another. Like, people perceive that as high quality. And the pictures I saw on CNN actually had like they had like nuts and berries and candy stuck on them, so they're actually prettier than these.
It's so funny, like this big corporation, like huge corporation,
evil Nestle.
Right. The way for them to upvalue is handmade.
Right.
Like, that's
pretty crazy.
It's like 2019
Nestle,
for you.
Like when Nestle, Nestle are like one of the most evil corporations in existence, and Nestle are doing like handmade stuff. Yeah. The other thing is delivery.
Okay.
So they're delivering them to your door as well. And I think that's another thing. Like, again, this is kind of like comes from Amazon, of like, people like convenience. If it comes to their door and arrives on their doorstep, they'll pay more for it.
I think it's a great gift to give someone.
Especially if they like KitKats.
Right.
And who doesn't like KitKats?
You.
Me. I like KitKats, but my tummy doesn't. Cool. So handmade KitKats. Luxury card store. She says you can order a bag of customized M&Ms from Mars. You can. That's true. And you know what's even so? M&Ms, they'll do customized M&Ms. I think Jelly Belly will do customized bags of jelly beans too. But what's really cool? Oh my gosh! Print candies. There's a website called printcandies.com, and you can go there and you can get little pictures printed on candy that looks like M&Ms.
It's pretty cool.
And we've done that a few times. I think the first Halloween class we made radioactive candy.
Yeah,
so we made these like yellow and black M&Ms that had like radioactive symbols and gas masks and all that stuff.
Fun project.
So printcandies.com, and you can resell them. So that's where it gets really cool. You can put them in a bundle. You can put them in a subscription box. You can sell them like on eBay. Like, they're pretty cool. If you want to make customized candy, print candies. So the problem with M&Ms is you can customize them, but they won't let you resell them because they're M&Ms. But the print candies, you can do custom resellable candy. So thank you for that, luxury card store. Thank you for the prompt, because that's a cool opportunity. Whoa, we're almost there. Okay, you had Nerd Corner.
Oh yeah, we could go.
Actually, do you want to do this other Nerd Corner? That's wait, where is it? This one. This sounds scary, Isaac. Talk to me about this one. Facebook acquires neural interface startup Control Labs for its mind-reading wristband.
It's not that scary. It's actually pretty freaking awesome.
A mind-reading wristband isn't scary?
No.
Are you sure?
It's not going to read your thoughts or anything. I mean,
well, that would be scary.
Right. No, actually, I think they're looking at new ways for humans to interact with computers. And so this is part of their Oculus, their AR and VR department that ordered it. And so they have some really exciting things in the pipeline. I mean, I'm loving my Oculus Quest.
I know.
It rocks. It's awesome. Tomorrow actually is Oculus developer conference.
Oh,
so they're going to announce some new things tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Oh,
and I will be watching that in VR, which
sure
is awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, Zuckerberg will be right in front of me, looking around. But anyways, so this thing, I think really what they're looking for is, did you ever see the movie Minority Report?
I did. That's...
Right. So like Tom Cruise, he's like using his hands to navigate this cool hologram screen. I think that's basically what Facebook's trying to do.
Wait, what? Oh.
And so does that make sense? So human interaction, you can move your hands, your arms around. Instead, you wear a little band and it reads your muscle movements.
Well, no, it says it reads your brain.
Right. Well, it's one step further, so it starts reading. Right. And so I think they're really looking at that and human interactions. I do know they are working on some AR, augmented reality, kind of like Google Glass, where you put on a glass and what you see in front of you, there's going to be digital elements augmented on top of what you see.
Whoa.
So that's kind of the direction the industry's going. Really cool stuff.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah. I saw a thing the other day that had a fingernail and that you could put a chip. So it's like a fake fingernail, and you can put a chip in your fingernail, and you can unlock your car and like start that. And I think you can do like the Apple Pay kind of thing with it as well. So if you're in a grocery store, you can like tap and pay for things with your fingernail.
That's pretty cool.
I don't think it's available yet for everyone, but like that sounds like the future right there.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to do, actually, you know what? I'll save that for next week because we've already talked a lot.
I guess the Nerd Corner real quick?
Yeah, let's do Nerd Corner.
Okay, so Apple today, really, really awesome, is they announced they finally released iPad OS, which is like the biggest software update to iPad since its launch. So when the iPad was first announced, they basically looked at it as a giant iPhone. So they put iOS on top of it, and they've been kind of tweaking it. But really, the operating system was made specifically for phones. And so what Apple did was they completely rethought how a tablet operating system should function. And that's where they came up with iPad OS. Cool. And so a lot of neat features. You can multitask. So you can have split view and you can switch between apps a lot quicker. And they have a lot of new gestures. For example, I think if you swap in the bottom corner and go up, it'll instantly take a screenshot of a web page, the entire web page.
Oh, I don't like gestures. So my phone, right? It does. You can go down on it. You can go up on it. You can go diagonally. You can go. I'm like, so like you want to find the flashlight, you have to swipe one way. You want to find out what the date is. I
agree with you. I'm not a fan. I prefer buttons over gestures. Yeah, personally,
I just can't remember them all.
But they have some handy, neat features, and I think what Apple's really doing, they're starting to market the iPad as a laptop replacement.
Yeah.
So instead of buying a laptop, buy an iPad, put a keyboard.
Well, that's what we were saying earlier. Yeah. Like you can design, like I said, I don't really like designing on mobile, but when you have an iPad with a keyboard, it kind of feels like a laptop.
Apple, they listen, and this is iPad OS is their answer. The other thing is they're going to have a new feature called Sidecar, which this actually makes me want to buy. I might actually end up buying a new iPad just for this feature. Because it will, when the next version of Mac OS comes out, you can sync your iPad to your laptop and use it as a second monitor or as a Wacom tablet.
Whoa, so you can like draw on it.
So you can draw on it, and Apple Pencil rocks. And so with Photoshop, I can totally imagine having an iPad there and working in Photoshop on your tablet and then looking on your laptop to see what's happening.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, some neat things down the pipeline. And so that's iPad OS. They just released it today. So if you have an iPad, super good news.
That's awesome. I haven't used my iPad. I did have an iPad. I don't even know.
We still do. We just don't use it.
Do I still have? Did one of the kids take it?
No, it's still.
I don't even know.
Old one.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching the Tangent Show. Yay, we kept it quicker. This we're trying to get it down a little bit to like 45 minutes or so. We'll get there. we just like talking. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. If you are not in our Facebook group, do come and join with us. Facebook.com/groups/Amazon Create Space. We would love for you to join us there. I've been trying to post sort of something interesting every day. We're doing niche alerts. I don't know, got a lot going on in the group. And
Tangent template users,
yeah.
Any questions, or if you run into any issues, feel free to email us at support@tangent.rocks.
Yes. We have more updates on the way. Language support is almost ready.
Almost there, yeah.
We've got language support on most of the templates. We're adding it to weekly and daily planners this week. Sorry, on the planner templates, I should say. We're adding language support this week to the weekly and daily planners. So you'll be able to print the planners in 5 European languages. We've got German, French, Italian, Spanish, German, Italian, French, Spanish, and English.
Yes.
That's it. So we've got 5 languages in there, and we have a lot more on the way.
Yeah.
Guys, you've been sending us a lot of suggestions. We are very grateful. Keep them coming. Support@tangent.rocks. I know I'm kind of facetious, or like, oh, okay, right, we can make a book that will like play flight sim. But no, please keep these suggestions coming. We are working as hard as we can on them. We're working as quick as we can on them. We know there's a lot of things you guys want, and we are totally committed to Tangent templates, to making it more and more awesome for you guys. So yeah, stay in touch with us. Thank you for watching the show. Join our group and buy Tangent templates. And if you enjoy the show, please do hit the thumbs up underneath, and also subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications next week. We'll be back same time, 4 p.m. California time on YouTube. All right, thanks guys. Have a great week. We love you. Bye.